all of that is coming up in today's video. Make sure you are subscribed, and I'll see you guys after the intro, starting with the dasher. Right, first rounds ever ACC Elite. It'll be interesting to see how this interface here goes. We just need to get this guy zeroed up. Ho! Ho ho ho. Well, the muzzle brake works because there's no recoil, but it's very, very loud when you don't put your ears on. Woo! Alrighty guys, quick announcement. If you want to see these beautiful Canics in person, Canic and the guys from Bosrus will be at the AAD, the African Aerospace and Defense Show. So it's an air show and a defense show. Sounds badass. We don't have the Eysterplot Air Show anymore here in Cape Town. The AAD show runs from the 21st to the 25th in Pretoria, so head on down if you want to see these guys in person. Now, these won't be my first rounds for the day. I've just come up from the zero range where I had an interesting experience. Sometimes when juggling all these cameras, I forget to put on my ear protection. So I shot my 6 dasher under the roof with the muzzle brake with no ear protection. You don't want to repeat that too often because it's not fun. But anyway, we'll make mistakes. So, I've come up to our usual location where we did the famous double tap video, and that is what I plan on doing now with the 6 dasher. We've got a steel plate out there. I need to range it. I actually can't remember the range. I'm going to set up, but we have a little bit of a problem. The wheat fields have grown. Okay, so they're about this high, and we won't be able to lie down and shoot prone. So we're gonna have to improvise. But anyway, let me range this target and let's see what we're working with. Now today I'm using the Viper HD 3000 that we're gonna range this boykie with. Now with any rangefinder, the steadier you hold it, the more accurate your range will be, the easier it'll be. That's set to yards because I've never used this before, so let me change this up. Okay, just quickly configured this, literally brand new, haven't used it. So it'll be a good test. Let's see. 608, 609, 610, 608, so kind of 609. So let's run on 609. That's 609 meters. So what's that, about close to 700 yards ish, about 670 ish. I'll have the distance up here as normal. So what I'm going to need to do, I think I'm going to need to stand like this and then double tap of this guy. That should be fun, because let me show you what I'm working with this sort of wheat situation. Right, so I'm loading a few rounds into this mag. I'm going to try to do double taps positional here. I'm sort of estimating a 5 km/h wind from about that side. So 9 o'clock, dead on. This should be very stable like that. Hunky dory. I don't want to come in with the fear of breaking another piece of glass on the cruiser. If you're wondering about this car and you haven't seen the video on the Land Cruiser, then you're in for a treat. That video is going to be up here. Now I've dialed in 4 mil. Let me just see if this is recording. So I've dialed in 4 mils. I'm going to hold about 0.2, and let's see how we can double tap positionally over here. Okay, the reason I took long on the second shot is because the plate was swinging quite violently. Let's do that again. So I obviously didn't hit it center enough, because when I wanted to re-engage it, it was like completely sideways, and I was kind of timing it in on the second one. So, let's go! Be comfortable. I didn't have enough in the mag. Let's pop these last few. I've got 5 more rounds here. I didn't bring more tripods. I should have brought another tripod so I could have had you guys on like a target cam. But my goal here is kind of just, I know we're just messing around now, but this is the last of the 109s that I had loaded up, and I'm planning to redo load development for this little rifle. Gonna do a complete breakdown of this rifle in an upcoming video, so if you want to see that, you know what to do down here. Alright, the wind's definitely died down a little bit. Let's get comfortable, grip the bag nicely. Very heavy bolt lift, and this is why I want to redo my load development. Let me show you guys this. Because I was a little naughty, and these are, oh, okay, that just fell out, but there's literally no primer left in this and it was stuck in the bolt, and that is why I want to redo load development. These are running hot. So these ended up being a little bit hot for a combination of reasons. Number one, I didn't have the Henderson trimmer when I loaded these up, and they'd been fired like 3 or 4 times, so they were getting a little bit long, and as a result of that, and we could actually see this because this is ammo from a match, boy, from last year somewhere, because as you know, if you weren't following the channel, this rifle I didn't have access to for almost a year, so this is very old ammo for me, and I didn't have the tools that I have now, so they're a little bit long, so they're touching at the front of the chamber, actually causing some of the bolt closures to be a little bit difficult. So I should have actually pulled them, but I've got so many cases that I just decided to fire them off, and every now and again, well, every like third one, you'd get sort of a pressure issue. And I also am on a little bit of a higher node for the projectile weight that I'm running. Anyway, so I was unable to achieve that, but stoked that we got it right on the first try. No BS, no fancy editing, nothing. So yeah, just stoked we got on the first one. Now what I have to do, I have to head back down there, and I'm gonna do load development on my 28 Sherman Magnum. Right, now this rifle's not sighted in. I've got 2 batches of ammo. I've got some 180 grains, okay, that still need to get fire formed. Now this rifle's not on target at 100 meters, so I'm basically going to sight it in at 100 meters, maybe put a round or 2 on steel. I don't think I'm going to get to shooting these loads that I did. I might save that for a later time this week because it has warmed up quite a bit, and I want to take my time and not rush those. And the current state, possibly going to run late for picking up the little ones. So gonna get set up, not repeat what I did this morning, and actually put my ears on this time. So 28 Sherman Magnum is basically, in layman's terms, a 300 PRC that shoots a 7mm projectile. I'm not gonna worry too much about the magneto now. By the way, that mount is not available for sale. It is something that we're working on. Forgotten what this guy feels like, so I'm a little bit nervous here, not gonna lie. Ho mama! She's very loud. Right, where on earth did that hit? Haha. Oh, I was afraid this is gonna be the case. I don't think I'm on paper at 100 meters. Oh boy. Okay, let's try that again. But call that a success nonetheless. I should have possibly bore sighted this before the time. Okay, I'm gonna have to get this out. Now that's one thing that's really cool on the new ACC Elite, is that you could literally just with the push of a button pull this whole piece out, but still have this sort of fine adjustment the way they've engineered that, which is genius. So essentially what bore sighting means, it means finding your target through your bore. If you guys want, I guess I could do a full video on how to do this, but there are videos like that on the line, but I guess it never hurts to do my own one. So I think I just sailed by the left here. Yeah, I actually need to get the scope tools and do this right. Okay, I've made some adjustments and hopefully we should be on paper now. I need to put that back. One tip here that might work for you guys is, obviously my chamber is not very hot at the moment because I've only fired 1 round. But not only do you not want to work on the back of your rifle while you have a round in the chamber, if you leave a round in the chamber and you've done some shooting, that round's actually going to heat up, and it might be a little bit quicker than the one before that. So that's worth noting if you're shooting a long range match. Like, try not to leave your rounds cooking in your chamber for too long before you come onto target. So I always try and just, you know, put them in and get the shot off relatively quickly. Hopefully we're on paper now. Yes, sir. Oh, that's actually pretty good. Oh, also, don't leave your phone somewhere where brass can fall on it, because I've seen many screens explode doing that. (3,184 feet per second), standard deviation 12. It's pretty quick for a 180 grain projectile. Not the greatest grouping in the world, SD 11.5. Okay, so now that we're sort of zeroed, I guess 250 is going to be, I don't know, like 0.3 maybe, if even that. Let's get some elevation going here. Maybe we should just, you know, I don't think I'll be able to feed these out of the magazine. No, I won't. They're way too long. But let's see if we can double tap 230 with Sherman. I'm just going to do 0.3. No, 0.2 is going to be plenty. Okay, so we're going to go cling cling. I'm going to have to shoot, grab it, throw it in. There's like zero skill involved. In fact, let me show you guys how little skill is involved in hitting this target. It's pretty easy. So, all those shots later, ST is now 9.6, and I have fire formed all of these, which is exactly what I wanted to do. Svaram. Okay, so I've decided to shoot the first load of the 190s just to sort of see where we are. Accuracy is alright. First two were touching and then sort of around the first two. The speed is ridiculous. 1,155 feet per second, standard deviation of 9. Which is way faster than I was expecting. So I'm thinking another grain and a bit of powder with this last, you know, this batch. This is going to be stupid. I want it to be around 3-1. So I think I'm going to pull all these bullets, save the powder, reload them all. And, because I don't want to shoot this quick. This is bananas. Absolutely bananas. Yeah, I'm definitely going to look for a lower note. That's... Whoa, boss. Okay, so as you guys know, I recently got the Canix in. So we've got both of them at the range here. I've also got to control my custom Glock 19 that I EDC. This is what we're working with. This is a firearm that we put together ourselves. I have a few of them available. I think they're floating around on my store, so have a look out on the bargain bin. But I'm going to shoot this also for a few rounds, just as a sort of control, as a sort of warm-up. My plan is to switch this up to the TP9 Combat Executive, but I obviously didn't have that now for quite a while. So without further ado, this is our first time doing any sort of pistol content on this channel, and as I've said before, I'm not a pistol shooter, so this should be entertaining. Okay, I've just had to set the brightness up because I could not see the dots at all. Where are the dots? I'm still hunting for the dot a lot here. Okay, so unfortunately I did the first mag out of the TP9 now, but I had the camera set up in slow motion at the front there. My goodness. I don't know if it's just the fact that I've sort of got more experience shooting with the iron sights than with the red dot, which makes me slower on this. But bananas! The very first round just jammed, which is to be expected. New pistols will jam on you in the beginning. Well, maybe not a lot, but that is to be expected when things are brand new. It still needs to be sort of a run in, if you will. But after that, I mean, I just dumped the magazine and it was so comfortable to shoot. It definitely feels skinnier. I don't know if it actually is, but it's easier to hold onto too. I wonder if it's as a result of the reciprocating mass being less because there's no red dot on, or the materials used, or what they did. It's sounding like an ad, but let me, this is the second magazine, okay? I'm running the +2 on this. I don't know, I didn't actually fill up the last one, but the slow-mo looked cool, but I wish that I videoed my initial reaction because it was one of disbelief. Let me show you. Okay. Right, boom. That was a terrible draw. Let's do that again. Beep. Okay. Jam. Okay, that kind of makes the point, right? If this is what the TP9 feels like, I am very excited to feel that rival. Let's get a few more rounds. I got a little bit slappy there. Missed a few. This is not far. This is 15 meters, which would be considered, I guess, far for a self-defense engagement, and that plate is skinnier than my chest. It's sort of like half a human. We're not allowed to use that term, apparently. Okay, let's go. Beep. Terrible draw. My shirt's definitely causing havoc here. Try to tuck that in like that. It's very cool that these do get supplied with holsters. Beep. Okay, I'm gonna try to do the double tap. I think I'm still like not really getting on this nicely. Just not used to it. Second one was over the top. There we go, that's not bad. Right, so already between the Glock and the Canik TP9, we fired 100 pistol rounds. So this is going pretty damn quick. I'm gonna fire a few more, sort of try get it over his shoulder type of view like this. And that should look good. I need to learn how these pistol channels do this because they do a great job. Right. Oh man, this thing shoots so live. Wow. So you can see I'm a little bit rusty with like clearing malfunctions. It might be that the rounds are too long because they are for a different handgun. They've all been sort of chamber checked, and I have not done. I've literally just grabbed a bucket of ammo that I had at home from 6 years ago when I shot my first couple of IPSC competitions. But I can't explain to you guys how incredibly like recoiling this little Canik is. Now, definitely gonna do a lot more shooting with it, but so far stoked. And it's weird, it's like the Glock feels heavy when it recoils, whereas this is like and I'm able to just stay on target a little bit more, and it should hopefully result in the footage. Okay, let's get this baby out, and I'm gonna saddle up with the SXF rival, which is actually the one that I'm expecting to shoot even better. So the fact that this is doing that is good. One thing that I also can play a vital role here is the trigger. The trigger in the Canik is significantly better than the trigger in the Glock. Obviously the Glock has a crap load of aftermarket trigger options, none of which are available in my country, which sucks. Okay, right, onto the SXF rival, which is the one I was expecting to perform like balls to the walls. So far, this is just initial impressions. As I said, I'm not a pistol shooter at heart, but it's a lot of fun. Obviously, just any kind of shooting is a lot of fun. But one word to describe the TP9 is wow. It's insane. That, I guess, is multiple words, but crazy. Maar die verskil in die recoil tussen die Canik en my Glock 19 is insane. En ek het nog eers die rival geskiet nie. Anyway, maar ek is besig om 'n video te record en jy interrupt nou jouself wanneer jy dit later die week gaan kyk. Sê hallo vir Reinier van die toekoms. Apologies, that was my friend Reinier, one of the best pistol shooters in the country. Absolute gem of a human being too. And he will give us a good pistol shooters review. So when we do our final review, my plan is to have him out and do some shooting with this. Anyway, I'm going to pop a few rounds with the SXF Rival. And then I need to, holy moly, I need to go get my kid at school. First rounds with the Canic SXF Rival coming up. Here we go. Woo! Okay, so you kind of expect that a new firearm. But man, I'm not a pistol shooter, but this is easy. Woo! Wow. Okay. So I realize now while loading this magazine that I have a unique opportunity because I haven't done any pistol shooting in such a long time. I can like relearn the fundamentals, whereas what I'm kind of doing at the moment is I'm just shooting fast because it looks cool on camera. I've also tucked in my shirt like a real frikkie, so it's not in the way when we're manipulating this guy. Our Afrikaans word of the day is going to be muggies, which are these tiny little flying creatures that go in your hair when it's really hot outside, because we are transitioning into summer. And yeah, the muggies are out and they're very annoying. So the problem is just going fast, you know. But as Ricky Bobby said, I want to go fast. But what I should be doing is just slowing it down and making sure we're doing the basics right, so that we can sort of relearn the art of handgun. Anyway, probably not going to happen in this video. Maybe in a future video we'll go slower. We should grip this thing better. There we go. Got a little bit quick on those last couple, but damn, it's fun to shoot some pistol again. One of the things that I didn't miss about shooting pistols is picking up all the bloody empty shell casings that are all over the show now. There was 1 or 2 rounds that didn't fire that I'm going to make a little mag with, but man, this Rival is fun. I've also got this grip where I prevent the slide lock from activating once we get to the last round. So oftentimes you'll see the slide actually drop even though the magazine is empty, whereas in the real life it's meant to obviously stay back, but I'm gripping it so tight with my thumb here that it ends up just riding it forward again. Should be the last round. Okay, so that actually, there we go. Fun! Guys, I want to... Guys, I want to thank you very much for watching. This has been a fun video. Definitely a new record for us on the channel with, you know, how many firearms we've fired in one single video. The channel's currently at about 130,000 subscribers, which is still mind-blowing to me. So thank you very much to each and every one of you that have subscribed. You know, it can happen like this. One video gets picked up by the algorithm and we get to 200,000 subscribers. So that's obviously the next goal. Any YouTuber probably wants 1 million subscribers, but I mean, that'll come when it comes. But once we hit 200,000, I'm going to take every single firearm that I own and I'm going to shoot it in one video. So that should be really cool. So please encourage your mates, your Chinas, to subscribe to the channel. That would be lovely. I want to thank our friends over at Modular Driven Technologies. The bolt action rifles you guys see me handling in this video were both in MDT chassis. One which you can buy, the ESS, the black one, and then obviously we had the ACC Elite, which is coming in the near future. More on that later. Okay, gentlemen, thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it. It was a lot of fun. My thumbs are sore from loading 9mm, but I have soft little office thumbs. So, see ya. Bye.